seat. Take a seat.
Thank you.
Perfect. Hello, everyone. I'm Molly Gregory. I'm an editor at Gallery Books, Simon & Schuster, and I am here with Karamo Brown today.
Hi.
Hello. It's so good that you're here.
Hey, everybody on Instagram, all my Instagram friends. So thank you for tuning in. Today's my book release. I'm so excited.
Yes, we are thrilled. This is the book. It is absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
And I think
Are you basically calling me beautiful?
Well, maybe. I think, but I think the most beautiful part of this book is perhaps this back cover. I don't know if you can see the cutest back cover I think I've ever seen on a book.
Can I give everyone the backstory on the back cover of my book? So I have a dog, and his name is Logan Patrick Michael, who I rescued almost 12 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
And this is not Logan Patrick Michael. My dog was not acting right. He did not want to be on camera. He was like, not today, Satan. I'm not on your book. I'm not doing it. I don't see you. And literally this dog was running around and would not leave me alone.
Oh my gosh.
And was like, today I want to be a star. So this dog got on the cover.
The stunt double.
The stunt double, yeah.
Yeah. So why are we here today? Tell us why you've come all the way to New York.
So I have to tell everyone that I'm doing a book tour right now. I did my first date yesterday. I have one tonight. If you're in New York, I'm going to be at the Barnes & Noble in Union Square. So, sorry. My publicist, Lisa Sass, is the business for letting me know because a lot is on my mind. And so I'm doing a book tour, and this is more so for people who have not been able to come to the book tour, who want to ask me questions and want advice. This is what I'm all about. This is what I do on Queer Eye. It's about giving advice, helping people live their better lives. And I wrote this book because it was a dream of mine. I'm going to get emotional. So,
okay, take all the time you need.
Literally, writing this book was something that I've always wanted to do. It's something as I was younger, I was like, I've been through so much to get to this place of success where I feel happy. And I told myself, as I'm writing this, that it's really to be cathartic for me, but it's also more so to help every single one of you out there who have a goal, a dream, who are struggling with something, figure out how you can do it by using my life as an example for yourself. I am 100% transparent in this. I do not hold anything back, and it was really important for me to, Lisa, can you check the connection on that? It looks like it might have did low battery. No, on the phone. Sorry, everybody. We're having a little technical difficulty. I think we have to press it right there. Oh, there we go. We're back. We're back. So with doing this, it was to help everyone else realize that I could support them, I could help them by using my journey. And one of my dreams, the biggest dream ever, and I have it in here. If you're on my Instagram, you've seen, I just did a post of my vision board. 6 years ago, I was working in social services as a social worker, psychotherapist, and my dream was to be in TV. And I was like, everyone around me told me, you cannot do it. Literally, everyone around me. I even have a sister, I'm not gonna call her out, Nedra, told me, you cannot do it. And it's not that you couldn't do it, but I think people are fearful of when you have a dream.
Yeah.
And I took a leap of faith. I quit my job, I went after my dream, and you see the vision board I did for myself on my Instagram. It's in my book as well. And all the things on my vision board are coming true. One of them, though, is to be a New York Times bestseller. So I'm going to let y'all know. Y'all are helping my dream come true right now. I'm hoping you buy the book. Please go buy the book. You can go to karamobook.com and purchase the book, or go to your local bookstores, support a local bookstore. You can also go to premiercollectibles.com/Karamo for a signed copy of it. And please, because the more books you buy, the better chance that I get on New York Times bestseller list, which is one of my dreams. It was to be a published author and a New York Times bestseller. And I'm just being honest with y'all. As much as this book has helped, I'm hoping it's helped me have these moments of reflection. I know it's going to help all of you grow.
Yeah, yeah. And speaking of dreams, working with you has been a dream. It's always been my dream to be an editor, and working with you has been such a joy.
Really?
Yeah,
Thank you.
So for you, what has been both the easiest part of writing a book and then the hardest part of writing a book? What's different about being, in front of the camera versus being behind the computer screen or behind the pen.
I can tell you the easiest part and the hardest part are the same thing. It's putting yourself out there. Because it's easy for me to put myself out there. I'm very open, I'm transparent. I do not hide any part of my life. That's what I do in the book. I do not. I talk about my addiction. I talk about my journey to fatherhood. I talk about issues of prejudice, racism, colorism that I experienced, about the church, about when I started to let people into my life regarding my sexuality and how much pain that was, abuse. I'm an open book, so it was easy for me to let people in, but on the same part, it's hard to, sort of like ask people to see it, want it, you know what I mean? Like, I'm putting myself out there again. It's like, I put myself out there and it was fine because I was just writing, but now I'm like, please like it. And it causes a little bit of anxiety, but I know how to manage that. Managing my anxiety is something I talk about in the book, and it's something that any of you are dealing with, like managing your anxiety. It's just some clear, digestible tips that you can take that I personally use for my own life.
Yeah, and we've got some powerful stuff in here. I think, reading this book, we're learning about you and about your journey and your life, but from all of your experiences, I think the reader can really walk away feeling like they're learning something too about, things that they can apply to their own lives.
Yes, 100%. Yeah. That's what this book is about.
Yeah.
By the way, everyone on Instagram, everyone on Facebook, I will be taking your questions in a little bit, so don't think I'm ignoring you. Yes. We're just having a little pre-chat right now. I am going to be getting to you because, again, this book was me sharing intimate stories from my life and how I got through them so that you can also take inspiration from my life so that you can get to the place where you feel comfortable, where you feel proud. And I'm on this book tour, but I know a lot of you can't get to the places I'm at, or some of you are working. Trust me, I get it. I've been working since I was 13. It's very hard to just be like, I got to stop working to go get and see Karamo at a bookstore. So I'm doing this for you all. So hopefully you can just tune in, get a little inspiration, ask me for some advice.
Yeah. We want as many of you to be able to read and love this book just as much as we are reading and loving it here.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess let's dive into some fan questions.
All right.
We've got so many that are
cool.
rolling right in.
Do you mind if while you're doing that, I sign books?
Yes. Let's kill two birds with one stone. We've got some Sharpies.
So if you order at premiercollectibles.com/Karamo, you can actually get a signed copy. I'm going to be signing them right now. Mm-hmm. So before you ask for the questions, I just want to let you all know, I have two type of signatures. One is either of a bubbly 16-year-old boy or girl where it's just like big bubble letters, like there's hearts over my eyes, or it's like scribble scrabble like I'm 2 years old. And my quick signature looks like two Z's, but it's actually a K and a B, and everyone like makes fun of me. So we'll see. I don't know if y'all can see that. It's like it looks like two Z's, but it's not. It's me signing it. So if you get a signed copy, don't think that someone just put two Z's in it. It's actually my KB. I'm just sloppy with it.
Yes, they're all authentic.
Yes.
Yeah, how do you decide which signature to use? Is it just a matter of time, matter of inspiration?
No, it's like if I'm feeling like I'm a 16-year-old little boy or girl and I want to be bubbly. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like some of these might end up being a little bubbly as we go through it. Yeah.
I love that. It depends all on the mood.
Now, I will tell you all this.
Ooh.
Now, I have a telephone number. And I'm giving that telephone number out and writing it in some of these books. Nobody is going to know until you get the book. And the telephone number is a number directly to me, and you can call me and ask me direct questions that you have. Like, I just want to let y'all know, I'm putting myself out there because I believe that my job is to be here to help you and support you. So trust and believe. If you order a book, you can go to karamobook.com to order. Go to your local bookstores, premiercollectibles.com/Karamo as well. You might get a book with the telephone number so that you can be chatting with me.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. I want that telephone number. Yeah.
You got my telephone number, girl.
Yeah,
Stop playing.
On speed dial.
Let me tell you something. This girl hits me up every single morning like, can you please get it together with your post? Can you please let people know? because I'm the worst on social media.
No. Been doing great. See those posts every day. I'm like, gold star
Thank you.
today.
I don't mind a gold
star
star.
for you too.
Thank you.
Yes. So let's dive into some fan questions.
Okay.
We've got so many coming in.
Okay, great.
So let's see. Oh, great. So Amy from Fort Worth, Texas wants to know, have you learned anything inspirational from Queer Eye that has stuck with you? Because you're usually the ones giving out the advice and helping the people on the show, but has anybody inspired you or taught you something?
All of our heroes actually teach each of us something. I think it's foolish if any person goes into any experience and thinks that they're too knowledgeable to learn from someone else. We all have different experiences, every single one of us, and those experiences make up our identities, make up the way that we relate to the world, and that's to be taught and shared with other people. And so even though we're the experts in our categories, when we meet these people that we're helping, they all tell us something that's happened in their lives where we're like, oh my gosh, a light bulb has went off. And so I want everyone out there to know that as you're reading my book, I'm sharing my experiences for you to understand that there are things that you might not have gone through, or that you have gone through, or that you will experience, that now you have sort of a clear guide on how I handled it so you can handle it. Because that's the same thing we do on Queer Eye. My book is really an extension of my category on there. But I will tell you, the thing that I have learned is not so much inspiration, it's more so practical. It's all the people of color out there who think that sunscreen is only for white folks, please go put some sunscreen on, because that is real. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've heard my friends of color be like, I don't need sunscreen. Sunscreen, let me tell you, cancer does not care if you black, white, Asian. I was about to say purple or yellow, but I hate when people do that because like those are not real colors, people. But it doesn't matter what your race is. It's about protecting your skin and feeling good. And so that's a piece of, inspiration, I guess, because now my skin's gonna look good into my old age because of that.
Yes, I feel that. I can't leave the house in the summer without minimum 50 SPF. Otherwise, in 15 minutes, it's really bad.
See?
It's real bad. It's painful.
Now, all the black folks out there, tell me what SPF 50 is. You don't know, because I didn't know until a week ago. I'm telling you. See, look, somebody black in here right now shaking their head. I'm telling you. Yeah. But we need to know because it's good for our skin.
Yeah, if you wear it long enough, you'll get into the 100 pluses, which do exist. I think 120 is one of the highest ones out there.
What?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, that's a piece of good advice that I got.
Yes.
And she's from Fort Worth, Texas?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm from Texas, too. Holla.
Nice.
I love Texas.
All right, let's see. Toby from Seattle, Washington wants to know, what role models did you have growing up?
Ooh, I say growing up, my biggest role model, first of all, was my granny. She inspires a lot of the inspiration that I share on Queer Eye. I also talk about her in this book. A big piece of my life that was very painful for me, that I had to grow through, and then made me stronger, that I want to share with a lot of people, is that colorism, which a lot of people don't really know about unless you're in communities of color. But it's where communities of color sort of like make people feel as if they have more value or less based on their skin tone, how light it is or how dark it is. And for me and my family, we're of Jamaican and Cuban descent. Me being of darker skin somehow made me less valuable. And when I was growing up, my granny used to say to me, you can't go outside and play because I don't want you darken up my family. Now, as we've talked and got older, she's never said, she's passed away now. She's never said, like, I said the words, don't go out and play. But for me in my young mind, I took it every time she said, don't darken up my family, as a way of not going outside. And I missed out on childhood memories, and it caused a sort of trauma of how I went through the world because of the fact that I felt like, well, if my skin gets darker, then somehow I'm not good enough for my family. I'm not good enough for the world. And so my granny is a big inspiration to me. She inspired me in so many other ways. But what people need to realize, and I do this in the book of showing you, is that as you look at your circle around you, look at the people around you. Sometimes the people you love the most give you language and feed you narratives that are not healthy for you. And as you get older, you have to be able to identify those narratives as either positive or negative, and be able to know which ones to speak over and not to internalize, and the ones to say, you know what, this is going to help me and serve me to grow. And so one of my heroes is somebody who also gave me negative narratives that hurt me. Another hero of mine is a hero of all of ours, Oprah. Anybody out there is looking and y'all say y'all don't love Oprah, I'm gonna find you and we gonna fight. No, I'm not a violent person, but you do love Oprah, right?
Oh, absolutely. Who doesn't?
Okay, I'm about to say.
If you don't love Oprah, you need to go check yourself.
Thank you, right? Yeah. Thank you. Molly said check yourself if you don't love Oprah. So, like, that is it. Hashtag check yourself. But Oprah was somebody who really inspired me, like, especially on my journey of growth. Oprah was someone who really taught me, like, you could actually combine entertaining and connecting with the world, but still giving them something that's going to be fun and inspirational and digestible. And so I don't want to be Oprah. You know, one of the things that Oprah teaches is she wanted to be Barbara Walters, and then she woke up and said, I can only be my best self. And I realized through that, I don't want to be Oprah. I want to be the best Karamo. And, you know, I show on my vision board in here, I talk about how she was one of the first things that I ever wanted to experience. And actually my first hosting job ever 4 years ago was for her. And so I learned working for her under a year of how to be someone who can use my own personal journey to give back to you all. And so I'm really hoping that, you know, you see that quality that I learned from her, but also from my own personal self in the book. Again, you can go to karamobook.com to order it. You can also go to Premier Collectibles /Karamo to order it. I'm signing books. One of y'all gonna get my telephone number. Back to you.
Yes. Alrighty, let's see. We've got so many questions, so many great ones.
Are any of them from Instagram? Because I can't see the Instagram, so I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to get some glasses to read. All right.
Do you not have good eyesight?
I do. I just got my eyes checked, actually. I got my updated contacts. They're currently in the mail to me. So maybe once those come in, I can really read tiny script from far away.
Ah.
Yeah.
Can I tell everyone that is watching, this is just going to be my honest, transparent truth. So in the past, as you're finding an Instagram question, in the past, like 2 months, I have had this like gnarly like infection thing going on. It was an allergic reaction that happened around my eyes. My eyes were swollen. It was the worst thing ever. So I actually have good eyesight. I really don't need glasses, but it's healing. And so as I'm trying to rebuild my self-esteem, I'm using the glasses to hide the fact that I felt uncomfortable going out in the world. How many times have you felt uncomfortable at something and you like hide it?
Yeah, you just want to head down, don't look at anybody, hunched over.
Yeah, and I think part of what it is, and the reason I'm expressing this to you, is that sometimes the things that bother us the most, that affect our self-esteem, we don't share with the world. We keep it inside, we keep it bottled up, and what happens is it causes more anxiety, it causes us to feel alone. In my book, I share about many moments in my life where there was things that was bothering me, and I could not find a way to share it because I didn't have the language, or I thought that people would judge me. And I realized that by just releasing it, it no longer has any hold over me. But how do you get to that place of releasing it? It's about, you know, being around people who you trust. It's about knowing that one thing about you doesn't define you, that you are defined by so much more than just your hair, the clothes you have, that car you're driving, the people you're around, that job you have. You're so much greater than that. Something that I tell my sons constantly is that you are perfectly designed. Molly, will you say it with me? I am.
Yeah. I'm perfectly designed.
Perfect! That's what I'm talking about. And why I say that is because all of us have all the tools and skills we need to create the life we want. And sometimes we forget we're perfectly designed when outside narratives tell us that if your eyes have bumps on them, that somehow you're not perfectly designed. And so I wear the glasses because I'm still working through it. None of us are perfect. I'm still like trying to make sure that I can be honest about it, but like I still feel uncomfortable sometimes when someone walks up to me and says, "What's going on with your eyes?" But it doesn't stop me because I realize that no matter what my eyes look like, my gift is so much greater than something external. And I want everyone out there to know your gifts are so much better than something that's external. And you can do whatever you want, but if there's something you're hiding, free yourself of that, because that's when you'll see the real growth and healing.
Yeah, and that's amazing advice. I think it probably took a lot of time to get to that place.
Yes, sister, it did.
Yeah. And this book is filled with advice like that, I think, to help people get to their true selves and to be able to be exactly who they are, because you are all perfectly designed.
Yes,
I love that very much.
Yes.
Now let's see, we've got some great Instagram questions coming in, so we'll switch to that for one moment. This is a great question. So, question from @lifeofpages_. Any advice on coming out to my family?
Ooh.
So this is something you talk about in the book, and the phrase that you use is something that I actually love. I'd never heard it before, so I'd love if you could talk a little bit about that too.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's @life. What is it?
@lifeofpages.
Hi, @lifeofpages. I don't know if you're still watching. I hope you are. The term that I use in the book, I don't use the term coming out. Do not judge anyone who does. It's been a term that we hear all the time. The term that I actually use, that I encourage people to use, is letting people into your life. I believe when we say the term coming out, it gives other people the power to accept or deny us. And when you say you're letting people in your life, it gives you the power to know that you love yourself, and that if someone else doesn't want to love or accept you, it doesn't matter, because who's most important is the self-love you have for yourself. My granny used to say to me, think of yourself as your home. This is your home. If someone was to knock on your front door right now and you love your home, and you said, come on in, and they said no, you would close your door and feel comfortable in your home. And you would invite the people into your home that you wanted to be in there. And that's why I say, let people into your life. You have the choice. I think for too long, as LGBTQ people, we have been told that we have to make these grand announcements with strangers at every moment. I have many a straight friend. And let me tell you something. I have never been at Thanksgiving dinner where they have to stand up and say who they're sleeping with and why they're sleeping with them, or whatever the case may be, especially to strangers at the table. Like, I understand intimate conversations with those you love, but why do I have to tell cousin Billy's sister's best friend who's sitting at the kids' table that I am sleeping with whoever because society has told me that's what I have to do? No, it's okay for me to set boundaries about who I want to let in my life. Does that make me ashamed? Not at all. Very proud of myself. And so for you, that fear of wanting to let people into your life is a real fear, because you're like, are they going to reject me? Will they not love me anymore? And I understand that, and I'm so sorry that you have experienced that. I've experienced it, and so many other people have experienced it. But I think the first step for you to understand is coming to a place of loving yourself. Can and will you love who you are? Can you say in the mirror, I am perfectly designed as this gay man or lesbian or trans person or bi person, whomever you are? Can you say you love yourself? Practice that daily. Build up that confidence of loving yourself. Secondly, find your tribe. There's a group of people out there who are going to support and love you. It could be in person. It could be at school. It could be with co-workers. It could be on social media. Find a tribe that you can turn to who's going to say, you know what, as you're building your confidence, they're going to cheer you on and be your cheerleaders. Thirdly, understand the boundaries, that it's okay for you to select who you want to let into your life. And you not letting everybody know, you not letting your third grade teacher, does not make you any less proud of who you are. You can still be proud of who you are and not feel like you have to let every Jack, Harry, Chris, Sally, Susie into your life. But if you do want to let everyone into your life, because I do believe visibility matters, it's one of the reasons why I'm in television, just know that the first two pieces, practicing self-love and finding a tribe that supports you, are most important.
Wow, that's some powerful stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Thanks.
Right, let's see. Okay, so kind of jumping off of that question, we've got another great Instagram question in from @Hedvig Forsberg.
Okay.
I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Let me see with you. Hedvig's Forsberg. Forsberg?
Yes.
Vigs Forsberg? Yeah.
That sounds right.
Yeah,
hope
right.
I'm not messing that up there. So they want to know, how can I improve my self-esteem and learn to love myself? Which I think is something a lot of people struggle with, no matter where they're coming from in life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is that our self-esteem is built on one word: practice. The same way you practice and listen to negative narratives or negative messages your entire life, you have to practice every single day telling yourself positive things. It may start off by saying, I love my big toe. I don't love my big toe. That's why I never have my shoes off. But if you love your big toe, start with that. Find something about yourself, could be internal or external, that you love. And say to yourself every day, I love that part of me. Self-esteem is something that you constantly have to check in with. It's just like your diet. If you're putting in bad stuff into your body, eventually you're going to start to feel down. You're going to start to feel lethargic and sad. It's the same thing with if you're taking in a lot of bad messages, you're eventually going to not feel good about yourself. So to counter that, you have to practice taking in good messages. Talk to yourself. Say, listen, I love myself. Look in the mirror. Say, wow, your eyebrows look good today. And focus on that. And keep focusing on that. Secondly, be aware that it is a journey. I say this all the time because a lot of times you'll get people who tell you in their memoirs, in their books, that it's an overnight process. They are lying to you. If you have spent the last 15 years not feeling comfortable about yourself, it's going to take you some time to be on that journey to love yourself and to feel comfortable. And that's okay. This is your journey. Run it at your own pace. Your finish line is when you get there. It's not on anybody else's. I tell people all the time, comparison is the thief of joy. Molly, will you say it with me?
Comparison is the thief of joy.
So do not compare yourself and your journey to anybody else. So as you're loving yourself and as you're trying to find a place to say, I'm good enough, don't compare yourself to what somebody else is doing or how they've gotten to a place where they love themselves first.
Wow. Yeah. Is there any mantras or anything that you like to do for yourself to kind of, if you're sort of in a place, you're feeling down, you've been filming for so long, you're tired, you're feeling ragged. Is there anything that you like to do to kind of give yourself a boost?
Yeah. I tell myself in the mirror, I'm perfectly designed. And I know that sounds, again, it's by practicing me saying that, it's me telling myself that I'm okay. You know, throughout my book, you'll read in all the chapters this through line of me being down and having to find the language to be able to convince myself that I am going to be okay. Language plays a big part. The language we hear, the language we say ourselves. And so in my book, I show you how language plays a part in that. You know, this is, it's unfortunately not a full advice book. It's my memoir. I want to be clear about that. And I love that I'm sharing my stories with you. But I thought it would be, it'd be a little irresponsible for me not to give you some advice of like what I can do. So you're just seeing, as I have been through these hard moments, how I got through it, how language played a part, what I said to myself, and exactly the steps I took so that you can have those steps as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think you learn so much through experience.
Amen.
I think, you know, either through other people's experiences, like your experience, if someone is reading a book, or they can take their own life experiences and some of their own difficulties that they've been through, and even if it's not exactly the same as yours, you can relate. There's a lot of connections in this book between, you know, sort of anybody's life and your life.
Yeah.
Even though it's different scales, for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
There's some universal topics we all go
Yes.
through, and that's what I hit on in my book. It's a lot of those
Yeah.
universal topics that everyone's been through. You know, we all have families that have either hurt us or made us feel like we can do everything. And how do you reconcile your relationship with both sides of that? We've had coworkers and people in our lives that have made us feel good and bad. And how do you reconcile that? We've had dreams that we've stifled our own self as long with other people stifling. How do you reconcile that? If you have somebody in your life that has addiction, and addiction is not just drugs and alcohol. There can be addiction to porn, food, all these different things. How do you reconcile that relationship? And in this book, I talk about how I reconcile those relationships and how I grew through it. And I know that when people read it, you know, they will get that advice and feel like they can help themselves. I feel it in my heart, people. Friends, I created this book for you to have a tool to just pick up and learn. So please go to karamobook.com, order it. You can also go to premiercollectibles.com/Karamo to order it. You'll get the autographed copies I'm doing right now. You know, I just want to keep stressing, you know, this has been a dream of mine forever to be an author. Here I am. I'm with my book. It got my face on it. has my fake dog on it. This is a moment for me. Like I last night on my Instagram, I was crying and sobbing.
Yeah, I watched it. I was like, oh my God, it was so amazing.
It was just I'm just overwhelmed because this is, you all are watching one of my dreams come true. When everyone told me this is not possible, this is one of my dreams that you're watching right now happen. And I'm just so thankful for all of you who have already ordered the book. It's out today. And I'm just so thankful for all of you who are about to order the book. You know, your orders are going to be part of my second part of my dream of me getting the New York Times bestseller list. I'm praying that it happens. So please go to karamobook.com, order the book, tell your friends, tell your family members. And if you want one of these autographed ones, you can go to premiercollectibles.com/Karamo. And again, I'm putting my telephone number in a couple of these books, and a couple of you will get it. And you will have my number personally. Everyone says I'm a fool for doing this, but I do not think so, because if we are friends and you need help, you should be able to reach me outside of just my social media. So order a book, and we're going to be talking more.
Yeah, and you don't even have to leave your couch, you know.
I know.
Click order, and a book will be on its way to you.
Yes.
What could be easier?
Yes.
It's like seamless for books.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, so looking at some more, we've got so many great questions to go through.
Okay.
So this book covers so many hardships that you've been through. When I read this for the first time, I was just blown away by your candor and how open you were on the page.
Yeah.
But Stephanie from Groton, Connecticut wants to know, what was the most impactful thing that has happened to you in your life so far? I mean, you've been through so much, so I'm sure it's hard to narrow it down to just one.
Let me tell y'all something. Like, I tell people my life is like a soap opera. Y'all, listen, Bobby calls me Karopra because he says like the way that I am and how I help people is a mixture of Karamo and Karopra. But I'm gonna start calling myself Kalucci, which means Karamo and Susan Lucci, because if y'all are too young for soap operas, Susan Lucci was on All My Children. She was on that show forever and had 14 husbands, 5 deaths, 18 babies, you name it, she went through it. And she went through a lot of challenges. And in the end, she won. And so there were so many moments of my life that were crazy up and down. But I think the one that was most impactful for me was probably finding out that I was a father. You know, a lot of people don't realize that I am a dad because I share it on my social media, but some people who don't really know me don't realize that. The first girl I ever dated, who was my best friend, she got pregnant. She moved away when we were 15 years old. We never saw each other again. And then when my son was 9 years old, I came home to a stack of papers on my doorstep for back child support for a 9-year-old child that I didn't know existed. And that was one of those moments where a lot of the things where I was dealing with addiction and I was dealing with the trauma of my past came head first, because I said, wow, if I don't face this, not only am I going to not be facing this for myself, but there's another generation that's going to be impacted by this trauma. Do I want to pass this trauma down to them? Do I want to pass hurt down to them? Or do I want to pass down positivity? Do I want to pass down love and teach them that they can do it? And so I flew to Texas, took a paternity test. It was like an episode of Maury. The woman was like, "You're the father," and I was like rolling around on the ground, crying and screaming, but in a positive way. And then I met my child. You know, in the book, I actually share those first moments of what it was like for me to meet my child and the anxiety I felt and how scared I was, but also how it gave me a sense of purpose and clarity, and how I had to figure out, how do I communicate with a stranger who is my child, but also how do I co-parent with my son's mother? You know, these are things a lot of us go through. Also, how do I navigate the relationship with her family, with my family? How do you do these things? They were all very challenging, but they are all things that are manageable, that I was able to figure out and that I was able to get through. And I shared that in my book so that you all can say, oh, I'm going through that as well. Oh, I see how Karamo did it. Oh, I can do this too. So I think that was one of the biggest challenges for me that I was like, I gotta overcome, that really helped me to be the man I am today.
Wow, I know, and it's amazing. The story in the book is shocking in a good way. When I read it the first time, I think I literally gasped out loud. Yeah. It's an amazing story. Yeah.
Girl, you're not alone. I've been gasping out loud my entire life. Yeah. I'm like, is that my life? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and your sons are both older now. How is it different being a father to older sons who are maybe out of, being young kids? They're in their 20s.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
One is my oldest son, Jason, who you can follow at Rachel Sideburns. That's his name on there. He's amazing. And then my youngest son, who's 18, is at Young Sivo. They would hate me if I didn't shout them out on here and tell the Instagrams. But parenting kids that are older or parenting children that are younger is the same. It's all about how do you have open, honest communication with them. I think a lot of times as parents, we get to a place where we're nervous about telling our kids our truth and being open with them and letting them know who we truly are. And that was something I had to figure out what's the best balance for me and how do I figure out that balance and those boundaries. And my kids today are doing great, but me parenting them is the same as when they were younger. I mean, obviously they're older, so they have different challenges, but it's always about talking to them, being open, listening to what they said, being empathetic listeners. And they're both exceptional young men. Jason is a ball of fun and light. Christian is the same. They're both entertainers as well. So they're learning a valuable lesson of seeing me go after my dreams and see what I'm doing, because it's teaching them how to be kind, but also to go after their dreams. Something that I do talk about in this book of like, if you have a dream, how do I go after it? What was my first steps? I'm going to share with you what step 1, step 2, step 3 was for me, so that you can see like, oh, these are possible things that I can do, or add to that and make it your own.
Wow. Yeah, that's great advice. And it's not just for parents, I think, being empathetic, listening to people, that's something you can bring in no matter if you're a parent, if you are alone, I just have a cat, but I'll bring that into my life.
Do not downplay cat moms, okay? My castmate, Jonathan Van Ness, is a cat mom, and every time we're in an interview and they say, Karamo, you're the only parent, me and him both look at each other and say, no. No. Jonathan is a cat mom. I have two-legged children. He has four-legged children. Yeah. So
it's a real thing.
It's a real thing. You have to get home and feed them. If they don't feed, if you don't feed them,
they will really turn against you.
Exactly.
It's not good.
See.
All right.
What's your cat's name?
Marvin Gaye. Yes.
That is so adorable.
Yes. Little guy, big person. All right, let's see here. Oh, this is one of my favorite questions that's come in today. Sarah from Avondale Estates, Georgia wants to know, what's your favorite kind of sandwich? Yes, I'm really asking that. We're in New York. We've got a lot of delis around.
Sarah, my favorite type of sandwich? It depends on my mood. I'm good for a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. That's good to me. Heavy on the peanut butter, less on the jelly. Also, on a good cold evening, I love a good grilled cheese. Just really kind of like extra crispy on the side, almost to like where it feels burnt. Good tomato soup with that. I love that. Would Burger King also count for a sandwich?
Yeah. A piece of meat between two pieces of bread. I think so.
Great, because check me out on a Tuesday. I do love Burger King. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. The Whopper Jr. It might not be the best. People say it's not real meat, but I love it.
Yeah, it might not be good for your physical heart, but great for your emotional heart. I think.
Great for it. Great. Actually, it's not great for your emotional heart either, but I'm eating them. So, listen, I always say that I am a judgment-free zone. I have been judged enough. As you read my book, you will see all the judgment that I had to go through. So I say to people, I'm not here to judge you. I'm only here to help you grow. And so if I start judging you, how am I going to help you grow? So don't judge me for my Whoppers, please.
Yes, you've earned it.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. So let's see. Andrew from University City, Missouri wants to know what's ahead after Queer Eye, or maybe in tandem with Queer Eye.
Oh!
He says you have a platform and charisma to lead, and your conversations with the people on your show show your compassion and ability to engage. So what's next?
Andrew, I appreciate you. That's a nice. You were very sweet and give me those compliments. In my book, I talk that I'm trying to reach for it right now because I'm signing away. In my book, I do talk about, there's a chapter on what's coming, my hopes for the future. For me, the ultimate goal has always been, since I was a child, of how can I continue to help people? What is the platform that I have so that I can help the most amount of people? That's why it was so important for me to write this book. You know, being an author has always been that dream of mine, you know, and so this is, you're seeing part of what's next after Queer Eye, or as Queer Eye is going on. Being an author is something that I've always wanted to do, because I think that so many people who don't have access to you know, maybe a show that I'm on, can pick up this book and get the same sensation, get the same advice, learn more about me through this book. And so I'm just so proud to be an author. I hope this is the first of many books. So please buy. Again, you can go to karamobook.com, go to your local bookstores, buy the book. It's out today. I'm so proud of it. If you want one of the autographed copies, as you see and I'm doing right now, you can go to Premier Collectibles, /Karamo, /Karamo. I got tongue-tied there. And you can get one of these books. So this is a big next step for me. Beyond that, I've been working a lot with our former President Barack Obama. I've been working in the political space because I do know with this platform, not only do I want to help people on a one-on-one basis, but I know that if I can walk into a room with people who are making our laws and try to affect some type of change in legislation, it's the same thing as what I'm doing here, you know? A lot of us don't feel like we have a voice. You know, in my book, I talk about how at a point I felt like I didn't have a voice, and how I got to a place where I feel confident about my voice. You know, and that was a theme throughout many parts of my life. And so for me, it's important to not only help you all through my book, but also to be in political arenas where I can say, there are people who feel like they don't have a voice, and I'm gonna speak for them. So, you know, continuing being an author, continuing with Queer Eye, you know, and being on television, and then continuing to make some type of strides in the political arena is really what I wanna do.
Yeah, like using social media and television for good.
Yes, yes,
I love it. We need it today.
Yes.
All right, so we are going to transition a little bit. We're going to take a pause from all of your amazing questions.
I'm sorry.
Blown away by these.
Cuss her out, not me. I would have kept answering your questions. I'm just long-winded. That's why she got to take a pause.
No. So we're going to play a quick game.
Okay.
So this is called 22 questions in 2 minutes.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you 22 questions. Have we got a timer going? These are, hopefully you can just rattle these off.
Okay.
Can I get a countdown? Perfect. All right. 3, 2,
okay.
1. All right. Where were you born?
Houston.
Who would you want to play you in a movie?
Beyonce.
What was your first job?
Sold newspapers.
What is your biggest fear?
I don't have any fears.
Oh, who makes you laugh the most?
My sons.
What is the one thing you need to have in your fridge at all times?
Coca-Cola.
What is your greatest accomplishment?
My children.
Who is the most interesting person you met recently?
President Barack Obama. I hung with him twice.
Whoa.
Check out my Instagram for the photos.
What is your middle name?
Kariga, it means rebel, and my first name Karamo means educated. I talk about that in the book as well.
Nice. What is your biggest pet peeve?
Oh, people who lie. Stop lying, folks. Just own your truth. I will forgive you, and I will forget, because I'm not one of those people who like to hold on, but it's okay to live your truth. It's okay. It's all right.
Yeah, everyone's going to find out anyway.
Yeah, seriously.
What is the last book you read?
Ooh, my book. I've read it now 7 times, and I tell you, I'm not just saying this because I wrote it. I'm saying it because I really feel like this book is going to help a lot of people. It's been helping me just read it back over and over again to remind myself of the tips.
Okay, what is your favorite hobby?
My favorite hobby?
Yeah.
Talking.
Nice. Yep. What is your favorite guilty pleasure?
Gummy bears.
Ooh, do you have any hidden talents?
I can hold my breath underwater for 3 minutes.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
What color is your toothbrush?
Blue.
What is your secret snack?
Oh, they're not secret. It's anything that is not good for you. Starburst. Oh, Starbursts are good for you. I'm winking, by the way, if you can't see me. Gummy bears, pizza, Coca-Cola, cookies. My diet is
all the
a
sugar.
mess. Yeah.
All right. How do you take your coffee?
I don't drink coffee.
Ooh, what is the last movie you saw in theaters?
Greenleaf, and it was amazing. You should go check that out.
What is the last gift you gave?
I don't know the last gift I gave. I mean, I give a lot of gifts. What was the last gift I gave? I guess it was just Christmas the other day. I gave my family a trip to Paris. That's not a brag. This is the first time I've been able to do this in my life. So my entire family got a trip to Paris.
Yeah, best gift ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. What cause is dear to your heart?
What causes what?
What cause is dear to your heart?
Ooh, seeing people be vulnerable, because I realize that vulnerability is the key to strength, and strength is the key to you getting the life you want. I talk about that in my book.
What is number one on your bucket list?
Number one, I've already accomplished it. I'm down to like number 9, 10 on my bucket list. Where, you know, like number one was like going after the dreams. If you look on my Instagram right now, you'll be able to see my vision board, and I've like accomplished 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of those things. So there's still a lot to go, but I've accomplished number one already.
Great. Where do you want to go that you've never been?
I don't know. That's the one that stumps me. And I'm the culture expert. Guess why? I'll stick with mental health.
Nice.
Did I make it in 2 minutes?
How are we on time?
I went over.
Yeah,
it's all right. You learned about me. It's learned about me.
Time is relative.
Yes.
What is 2 minutes? I don't know.
It's 2 minutes. That's a setup. Ain't nobody doing 2 minutes, 22 questions in 2 minutes. That is a setup for somebody to fail. But I am honest. Beyonce, if you're listening, I do want you to play me in a movie. I don't know who said that a man has to play me. Why Beyonce can't play me? She is a triple threat. She can play a male. Like, we both from Houston. She knows how, you know. You can see Beyonce playing me, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, my character would be way more prettier because Beyonce is fine. But come on, Beehive, can we hit up Beyonce and ask her to play me in a movie?
Yeah. I don't know if she'd be willing to shave her hair.
She
but
can wear a ball cap. She can wear a ball cap. That's going to be her Academy Award performance.
Yeah, we'll get her
Gaga
there.
done got one. Beyonce need to get one, too. And she going to get it for playing me.
Alrighty, let's see.
I don't have any good sense right now. Let me tell you.
Perfect. All right, I like this question. This is an Instagram question from Geezer Furtis.
I like that name.
Great Instagram handles.
Geezer Furtis, what's up?
So he wants to know, I think this is a matter of perception, but he wants to know why you're not wearing a shiny bomber today.
Actually, the bomber is very shiny.
Yeah,
Can I get
that's what
closer?
I would say. I feel like this outfit needs to be shown off.
Let me get closer.
Look at that.
This is a shiny bomber with a very cute texture. Hey, y'all. Molly, I'm sorry, I'm a bucket.
No, it's okay. Great view.
Yeah, see, it is a very shiny bomber. I'm just over here modeling. This is why they don't invite me nowhere. I just want to let y'all know that. You climb on people's tables. This is why they don't invite me anywhere. But the bomber is shiny. Alright? Sliding down. Do any of y'all watch RuPaul's Drag Race? Because my girl Naomi Smalls,
Yeah.
this is how she just, you saw her when she was like on the ground like, so yes, my bomber is shiny.
I love it. I need to get one. I had meant to wear one today, but alas.
Listen, I have a bomber line coming out. I'm about to be announcing some
Wow.
information about that, but this is about the book. I'll get you one of mine.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Alrighty, this is another Instagram question from Nina, from Nin Anderhoff. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Maybe it's Nina.
Neanderthal.
Yes, you know who you
Neanderthal.
are. Yes.
Yeah.
So I think today's been a great day. We've had a lot of fun signing and getting all these great questions. But how do you turn a bad day into a good one?
Ooh, this is a really good question. Neanderthal. I wish we could pronounce your name properly, but let me tell you something. We have all had those bad days that we're just like, it is not going to get any better. We feel like that cloud is going to follow us around. And what you have to do is you have to take a moment to close your eyes and take yourself to something that does make you happy. Focus on something that is going good in your life. It could have been something that happened the day before or that you know is going to happen tomorrow. I think a lot of times it's easy for us to stay in the storm and realize and not see that there's a sun right behind that storm. And so you have to take it upon yourself. Let me tell you something. You'll hear me say this a lot. Everything starts with I. Everything should start with how you're relating to the world. What are you feeling? How are you reacting? Because when you start thinking about I, it helps you realize you have more control in this world than you even realize. This is something that I talk about in my book constantly about how I figured out that I can actually have more control of making my day good. Let me tell you something. There's always going to be people around you who have negative attitudes, who have something negative to say, who are going to tell you that you didn't do a good enough job at work. And when that happens, you say to yourself, you know what? But I have done the best I can do. I will do better. I can change their negative narratives into positive ones. Take that as a sign of like switching what they say. Don't go along with it. Don't walk back to your desk being like, yeah, I'm stupid. Why did I do that? Say, you know what? This was a growing experience for me. I can learn from it. That's how I turn my day into a good day. Also, I go back to the tribe. Have a group chat with people who you know are going to be your biggest cheerleaders. You know what I mean? I have the Fab Five group chat. We will text each other and we will boost each other up. I have my best friends. These are all important ways of you getting to a place where you feel happy again. And if all else fails, have a drink.
Yeah, or a Whopper, either one or both.
Both. And by drink, I don't mean alcohol. I'm talking about like another tasty beverage.
Coke.
Yes.
Coca-Cola. All right, let's see. I think we have time for one more question.
Okay.
Let me find it. I had pulled one up that I really liked. That was good. Okay, perfect. Here it is. So Dormaine from Capitol Heights, Maryland wants to know what would be a good theme song for your life, and you can't count the Queer Eye theme song. It has to be something else.
I wasn't gonna count the Queer Eye theme song anyway. There's a couple because I'm a big lover of music. There's one by Mos Def, Umi Says. And I love that song. If you don't know it, go look up Mos Def. He is an a hip hop artist. And the song goes, Umi says, shine your light on the world. Shine your light for the world to see. And it's about this person in his life, Umi, which is either a mother figure or grandmother figure, who's telling him to be great and to shine his light. And that has always resonated with me. There's another song by Jill Scott that's called Golden, which is like living my life like it's golden, living my life like it's golden, which is just always a constant reminder to me to live my life like it's golden, to always find positive moments no matter what. Also, I would say Beyonce, Crazy in Love, not because I'm like boy crazy, because I used to be. You'll read that in the book. How do you get out of being a thought? I used to be one, and I teach you how to not be one. But I will say being crazy in love with your life, being crazy in love with all the things you enjoy. And then the final song, Jolene by Dolly Parton. That is a song that I can listen to over and over again. And though I've never had someone try to take my man or be that, thing, it just makes me feel good. So those would be the 4 songs for me.
Those are all great choices.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would have to really think about it, so I love you could just rattle them off.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yes.
Yes, well, I think that wraps us up.
What? No!
Yes.
I don't want to leave you all! Listen, this has been really extraordinary.
Yeah, this has been great.
You are great. We actually are going to be wrapping this up because I have to get dressed. Like I said, if you're in New York, tonight I'm going to be at the Barnes & Noble in Union Square. Please come out. I would love to meet you. I'd love to talk to you. Come pick up a book. This is my dream happening right now. I want you to get one. If you're not able to come to the signing tonight or one of the other dates, I have some other dates. I'm in Washington. I'm in Los Angeles. Just go to karamobook.com. You can see the other dates, and you can also order my book there. Tonight is the night. If you want one of these autographed books and these last copies, I'm about to put my telephone number in. Go to Premier Collectibles premiercollectibles.com/Karamo to get one of these. I'm just so thankful to you guys. You're really seeing my dream happen right now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you, and this has been great.
Yes, thank you for tuning in.
Yes.